Hey, welcome back to the Métropole Grid. My name is Andre. Thanks so much for tuning in, and happy Halloween. We have a bit of a theme deck today. We are meant to be entering our labs to dig through the bins and the discarded pieces to put together a machination, to put together a monster that we are going to be using to crush through the corporation servers. Now this, of course, is a Baba Yaga deck, and Baba Yaga is a card from the Flashpoint cycle. It's a bit of an interesting one. For 2 influence, you get this neutral card that you strap other icebreakers to, and it gains the paid abilities of all the attached icebreakers. The idea is that we're going to be scrounging together to try to make the most efficient breaker, quote unquote, and it's a lot of fun. Now, Baba Yaga is from Slavic folklore. It's not actually anything to do with this sort of a grotesque theme. It just mechanically it works out the way we want it to. So the idea here, we get our Baba Yaga down as soon as possible, and then we're going to start attaching other icebreakers to it to make a super program. And it actually kind of can work out. It's a bit slow, it's a bit clumsy, it's definitely very fragile, but you'll see what we're doing here. Firstly, let's talk about the ID again. This is a standard legal deck. We have to if we want to play Baba Yaga, but we're playing Kabonesa. One link, 4515, this shaper allows you to search your deck for a click to install a non-virus program, we're not playing any viruses, on the table, reducing its cost by 1. But at the end of the turn, if that program is still installed, it gets removed from the game. Now that's a bit of a scary ability, but we have a lot of ways to circumvent the downside, the remove from game clause, to be able to use this as a click to basically search our deck. And we're gonna have to search our deck a lot because again, we have to attach a lot of pieces to this Baba Yaga to make it, a formidable threat. So firstly, we have 2 Baba Yaga. Again, why 2? Why spend 4 influence? We need to get one down early. Again, we can't really install any of our other programs. It's worth noting when a program is already installed, you can't then host it. You always have to do the hosting when you're installing the 2nd or 3rd program. So we want to make sure we find our Baba Yaga early. So we have a bit of redundancy here. Might not be necessary. That's how I've been playing it. Now, on top of this, we want to make sure that we can break all kinds of subroutines because Baba Yaga on its own has no text. So the idea is that we have fractors, code gates, decoders, and killers that we're strapping onto this thing to be able to deal with everything. And I'm going to start here with Unity, which technically is a decoder. So if the Unity attaches to the Baba Yaga, you can start breaking code gates, but this also gains the fantastic ability of paying a credit to give you +1 strength for each installed icebreaker. Now, if the Unity is on the Baba Yaga is an icebreaker, so you're already getting 1 for 2 strength, which is a good start, but you're going to need to install a lot of icebreakers, so this becomes very quickly 1 to 4 or 1 to 5 strength. And you're going to need that. If you are using the Baba Yaga, it starts at 0 strength every time you break a piece of ice. So you want to get that big strength boost as consistently, as cheaply as possible. So Unity is a really good start. Now, in terms of code gates, we're actually running a redundant decoder, and that's Buzzsaw. And a Buzzsaw only costs us 1 influence, but for 4, we get this down on the Yaga. And now we're breaking for 1 credit, we're breaking 2 code gate subroutines. So that means we're dealing with code gates relatively cheap. Huge strength boost, 1 for 2 code gates, subroutines, that gets us through. This is where it's really important to understand that while we have hosted icebreaker programs on the Baba Yaga, they're also still considered installed icebreakers. So you can still just use them regularly, which means if we run into like a 3 strength code gate, we can actually just use the Buzzsaw naturally without having to interface or using any of the other abilities attached to the Baba Yaga. That's always worth noting that the breakers on the Baba Yaga are still breakers, and we have to spend the MU to fill them out, but we can also use them, which is why Baba Yaga is nice, because if you run into the cheap code gates, this is the best way to deal with them, but then you use Unity Buzzsaw to deal with the big stuff. In terms of a fractor, we have Tycoon. This is a really interesting card. It's very, very cheap and very efficient. We're paying 1 credit to break 2 barrier subroutines. But the downside is that there's some text on the Tycoon that pays out the corporation if you're using this to break all subroutines. But the thing about Baba Yaga is Baba Yaga only inherits the paid ability. So it only inherits this top text. It doesn't inherit this like constant ongoing ability at the bottom, which means that this is our way that we can pay 1 credit to break 2 barrier subroutines. That's fantastic. It's so good. Attach this to a Unity. You're breaking just about every barrier in the game. I think the worst case scenario is like 4 credits. So absolutely fantastic. Most barriers, 2 credits. And finally, for our killer, we have Adore. Adore for 2 credits breaks all sentry subroutines. Classically, sentries used to have the most amount of subroutines compared to other types of ice. That's not really true anymore, and I think we should reconsider this. But 2 credits to break all sentry subroutines, attached to the big boosting of Unity, you're in a pretty good spot. Now, the second paid ability window here, where we could break any sentry subroutines for 0 credits, as long as we have 3 installed virtual resources, is actually quite difficult in Shaper. I tried to build that first, but Shaper just doesn't have a lot of virtual resources that you want to play, so this is kind of difficult. So we're generally doing the top text. This deck is actually incapable of doing the second part of this, which would be really nice if it could. And that's our Icebreaker suite. So we have Baba Yaga, Unity for massive strength, Buzzsaw for code gates, we have Tycoon for barriers, and finally Adore for sentries. We have some other programs in the list. We have a single misdirection, which again, this is a card that we can pull from our deck at instant speed if we have to deal with a lot of tags. And we have other ways to pull cards from our deck. We'll look at them in a second. But in standard, there's actually way more ways than in startup that you can end up with taking 4 tags on a single turn. So misdirection is our panic solution to go get and clear the tags at a huge reduction of cost, let alone time. Very, very powerful. We have a single Stargate. This is our multi-axis. Admittedly, it's a bit clumsy. It's one of the most powerful multi-axis cards you have in any format. But the downside for this is it does take up 2 MU. And you'll notice if we have to install a Baba Yaga, let alone 3 to 4 other icebreakers on top of it, our MU is going to get tight. We're running a lot of MU cards, so it's not the worst, but sometimes that does sneak up on you. This is still probably one of the better options you have. And finally, we have 3 self-modifying code. This is, again, a very important card. It is 2 MU, but you're generally playing it early to find your pieces. At 2 credits, for 2 credits, at instant speed, you can search your deck for a program and install it. And this is how you can ensure, again, your Baba Yaga is coming together. We talked about how Kabonesa Wu's ability makes you spend a click to go find a program from your deck, but if it's installed at the end of the turn, it's removed from game. So generally the biggest thing that you can do is use Kabonesa Wu's to find a self-modifying code, and then just use the self-modifying code to find your breaker. So it does increase the cost of getting your breakers down by 2 credits, but ensures that you can find your breakers and not have them removed from game on any board state for a single click, which is absolutely fantastic for the sort of building we have to do. Looking at the resources, we have a single Beth, Kilray, and Chang. We generally want to play this in standard as a 1-of. It's a unique card, and it's just absolutely so much value for only 2 credit install. You either get a free click, card draw, credit. It's always just about good. We're playing 3 daily casts just to get enough economy. We have a lot of stuff to install, and it's pretty intensive on clicks, so why not get some clickless economy in there? We have 3 telework contract. This is more click requiring economy, but definitely still pretty good. We have 2 copies of No Free Lunch, and this is on its own an okay economy card, but the biggest reason we're playing this is we have to make sure that we do not take tags when we do not want to take tags. In the standard format, tag punishment is actually pretty prevalent, and one of the biggest tag punishment cards we can run into is Self-Growth Program. If we're tagged, the corporation can return 2 installed cards to our hand, which means if they pick the Baba Yaga, not only do we have the Baba Yaga back in hand, but all the hosted cards, they get trashed. So if we hit 1 Self-Growth Program, we have no recursion in this deck, game over. So we're taking some risks. Again, I do not recommend this deck inherently. It's not a competitive deck. It's a very fun deck, but we are very weak to some certain things that are actually not uncommon in the modern meta. And then lastly, Hunting Grounds. This used to be a very popular card back in the day. This is an Apex card, one of the mini factions. And while the second part of the text, install 3 cards, we don't care about that ever. The top part is really important. It says once per turn, we can ignore the when encountered clause on a piece of ice that we're encountering. And that's quite important. Back in the day, there used to be much more commonly ice that had win encounter abilities. Some more and more of that is sneaking into the standard format right now. Loki was really powerful at Worlds. I'm running into Mest and Chesfos all the time now playing against NBN. But the big reason why we're playing this is if a very popular card in the format is IP block, which just gives you a tag if you have an AI installed. And we always have an AI installed, mind you. Baba Yaga is an AI type. So if we're expecting to run into some IP blocks, might as well spend 1 influence to hopefully dodge a couple tags throughout a game. And it's quite good. In terms of the hardware, we're running 2 Pantograph. Now, of course, we're not playing Endurance. That's kind of the point here, is we're spending a lot of time and money to get something that deals with ice cheaply. Should we just play Endurance? You betcha, probably, if you want to take yourself a bit seriously, but we're kind of having some fun here. Pantograph is 2 credits for 1 MU, which is actually pretty good. And on top of that, it gives you credits when agendas are scored or stolen, which is a nice thing. And it also lets you install something clicklessly, which helps. We have a lot of stuff to install, so I inherently valued that ability. It also works really well with things like telework contract coming down, so you can empty it a bit faster in terms of the clicks, I guess. It's also really good with start of turn triggers like daily cast. If the corporation scores an agenda, you can install your daily cast on their turn, so it starts paying out sooner. It's kind of nice. I think with also 20 events, you could probably consider playing Onacom in the slot, which gives you extra card draw, which is something the deck actually kind of lacks. We want a bit more card draw if we can get it. And then finally, we have 3 DZ, MZ optimizers. We need this. We need to spend like 5, 6 MU, 7 MU in some cases, and this allows us to install our stuff a bit cheaper. It is admittedly a bit awkward when it comes to Kabonesa Wu pulling out breakers with self-modifying code because that ability gets eaten awkwardly. But if you have a self-modifying code on the table, you can use the first time per turn clause on the DZ on the corporation's turn to install your breakers and kind of get a bit more savings throughout time. These things are really good. Finally, we just have a whack of events. A lot of these are pretty straightforward. We have Creative Commission for economy, Diesel for card draw. We need to find our pieces. We have 3 Dirty Laundry just to, get some money while running. We do have to make enough runs to win. Why not get paid at the same time? And then we have 3 Overclock. And this thing's actually really important. In the late game, it's obviously 5 credits on a run, which is quite good. Our breakers are relatively cheap, but it's still good free money. But the most important thing is we can use Kabonesa ability to spend a click to install a program from our deck. So we install self-modifying code, and then we can overclock just like archives, turn 1, whatever. And then use those credits to pay for the self-modifying code, to pay to install the Baba Yaga, or whatever the next piece we need is. And that helps us install and set up really quickly. And we kind of need to do that because we have a lot of stuff to install. We have 2 rejig. This is also kind of a neat card. This used to be on 3. I'm not sure what the right number is here, but the idea is with this card, we can just pull a program from our deck with Kabonesa and then rejig that program, return it to hand, and install that same program again to make sure that it's not the same program, so it's not removed from the game from Kabonesa ability. It's nice. It means we can aggressively Kabonesa. It also allows you, in theory, to refresh like a Stargate if you want to double Stargate in a turn. But it's nice. It's a good trick to make yourself set up quickly. And we have 3 rigging up. Again, we have a lot of stuff to install. If we're at least installing it from hand, let's get it down cheaper. We're not going to need the charge, but an install and 3 credits for the same click is actually really good click compression. And then finally, we have 3 Sure Gamble. That's the list. So again, we want to build our breaker, build our monster, put together all the pieces, and hopefully have something really efficient. It's worth mentioning some other cards you can consider for this sort of archetype. I think originally I was looking at Behemoth, one of the new breakers that breaks all barrier subroutines for 1 credit. And I would say I wouldn't advise doing this. It's really fun, but unfortunately this card has a lot of influence. You require the core damage, and on top of that, it's 2 MU. So there's a lot of things working against it, while Tycoon is basically just about as good. There's not that many barriers that have 3 to 4 subroutines, so you're not losing that much by not playing this. Another thing that I was trying to do is Propeller. I was actually really excited about this. I wanted to install propellers onto the Baba Yaga and then use the propellers power counters to increase strength, to use this as a battery and play actually maybe multiple propellers to kind of recharge it every once in a while. But unfortunately, the hosted power counter ability to remove a power counter to get +2 strength is something that Baba Yaga inherits, but Baba Yaga doesn't have its own hosted power counters. So this is, in all means, is a non-bow. Now, after playing the games that are following this, I did come up to some changes. I haven't tested this. I do think some parts of this are correct, but this is a revised version of the list. Not too much has changed. I think the biggest change is we ended up dropping the Buzzsaw. It is some influence saved, and I didn't find that ability to be too useful. It's not that bad to have extra copies of cards just because Unity wants more icebreakers, and it's nice to have the flexibility. But the big thing that I did want to play is I wanted to play Mimic instead of Adore. Now, Mimic breaks 1 for 1 subroutine as long as the ice is below 3 strength. The cool thing again is we can use our icebreakers on the Baba Yaga without using Baba Yaga. They are still installed. So we're not sweating any of the small stuff. And that was kind of the problem I found. There's a lot of like 3 strength sentries that are showing up. You have Drafter and HB and NBN, you're running into Turnpike and stuff like that. We can just use the Mimic without having to worry about boosting strength with Unity or Buzzsaw, anything else. Paying 2 to break all or 1 for 1 is just about the same. You lose out with 3 sentry subroutine ice, but there's not too many of them, and those are already really expensive, so you're saving on the strength usually. So I'd recommend the Mimic. This did save us 2 influence. For that, I put 2 copies of Deuce's Wild in it. I'm not sure if this is correct. This list doesn't even have the Dirty Laundry, which I prefer, but this is some card draw. And the last card I would definitely play in the list regardless is a single Mad Dash. This card's just so good in the modern meta. There's so many agenda suites that interact very poorly into Mad Dash, where instead of stealing 3 agendas, or you can steal 2, or instead of stealing 4, you steal 3. It's just really, really important and really powerful. And we have Stargate, so we're able to make runs knowing where the agendas are and being able to get those extra points guaranteed. And that's this list, and it's still really fun. Again, this is by no means a competitive deck. It's pretty ridiculous to think about strapping, so many extra installs and extra credits just to get a very efficient breaker, when currently, Shaper can do that pretty well by installing 1 thing. Endurance is really powerful. I wanted to not play Endurance, and this is a really fun thing. And so let's, scour the graveyards for our pieces and put together a monster. Happy Halloween. Enjoy the games. All right, we're playing standard. We're playing Kabonesa. We're trying to build a monster. We're building a Baba Yaga deck, stitching together all our programs to raise something from the dead. Baba Yaga is not very good, and it's pretty ridiculous to do this in a world where you have access to to the endurance, right? Like, if you want to break ice cheaply, you don't need to install 5 separate things that are all quite expensive. But we're playing against AgInfusion. I'm pretty worried that this is the world's winning list. If it is, we have some chance because we have Hunting Grounds in the deck. It's just going to be pretty arduous. At least that deck is slow, and we're in theory very good at breaking some of the bigger ice in the game once we get our Baba Yaga together. I'm not sure though how quickly we can do that and how many hit points we can have left to interact with them. Our opening hand's okay. We have the SMC. I think we're just going to start up with some money. We'll play the Telework, hit the Telework, Creative Daily Cast, nothing special. But if this is the list with Loki Trieste combo, it's very difficult for us. The best thing going is that we have 1 Hunting Grounds, which turns off the text of Loki, which means it's breakable. We can't actually break the subroutine on without shuffling our hand in, which means we will die. But this actually might be a bit faster. I'm going to play like it is the AgInfusion Snare Bears deck. And that's probably Rashida. NGO or Biovault? I don't know what that is. That's an agenda. It's a 4-2 agenda, so it would be a totally different deck. All right, let's get this down. Hit it. Hit it. Best econ start we could ask for. Don't have a lot of card draw on this deck. We don't have stone chips, so we don't have lat draw. So that's kind of the issue. Looks like it's just an NGO front again. If this is a slow deck, they're running NGO fronts and also Biovaults, another advanceable. It's an upgrade, this one, not an asset. They might just jam behind a single piece of ice. We're actually really weak to it. And ice and then the Jinteki ice pool, things like Nancy, Lindsay, they have 3 subroutines. That actually is pretty difficult for endurance-based shapers to deal with. Okay, so we want to draw into rigging ups, rejigs, more likely, because we want to get the stuff out of our deck. We need to get the Baba Yaga first. We could Dirty Laundry R&D and see what they're about. If we want to do that, we should draw once first, just to make sure that we can steal if it is an Obokata. Stealing an early Obokata with this hand is pretty good. Bacterial, okay. So that could be the deck. It could be a punitive list. We have not enough money, maybe enough money to survive a double punitive. We have a single link here, but stealing a Bacterial last click is pretty rough. We also don't have Mad Dash in the list, which I hate playing decks without Mad Dash because they're probably running 6 3-pointers and then 1 2-pointer, probably the Longevity Serum, which means we have to steal 3 agendas to win. Almost half the agendas in the deck. If we had a single Mad Dash, it changes the math. Not that it's easy to Mad Dash in this matchup with abilities like AgInfusion, which we didn't talk about its ability. Allows you to redirect if you trash an unresed ice, so we don't want to ever let them res an ice. They might divert power to res them. This bacterial programming here can help them speed up setup for sure. I don't know what they did. They didn't trash anything. So that might mean they're a slower deck. A lot of times I love trashing stuff with this card. But not punitive. Double ice on RD. Yeah, this looks like it is the Snare Bears list. So we're going to be here for a while. That server one could be as soon as the Trieste, as soon as now. I think it's running 2. But if it's a Rashida, it would probably be rezzed. If it's a Biovault, maybe. But at least we can maybe set up. Oh, advance. Okay, so probably an NGO or a Biovault. I don't know if they're slow running an agenda here. Let's keep going. Rigging up. We need a Baba Yaga before we do anything else. Just keep posturing. Honestly, I think we probably hit this instead of the sure gamble. It's not like we need the money now. And this is something that's harder to clear out. So an extra credit, 18 to 19, really doesn't change any of the math. Hunting Grounds, again, is not a card we can tutor. That's a second NGO front. Again, this deck is really slow. At Worlds, you saw some decks get milled out sometimes with this AgInfusion list. It drew up. No real reason to pop the NGO there. And they drew up again. They're going to discard 2 cards here. We can check archives to see what they are. There's no archives traps. Eventually, they will ice up archives because it is, they want to get ice on everything with AgInfusion. We can consider checking it. We don't really have a reason to. We want to set up. So we can draw once more, get the daily cast down. Wow, we drew all of our economy, but none of our breakers. I don't even know if we have to hit this. We don't want to discard a card. Again, here we probably can just pay, the 7 credits of self-modifying code out of Baba Yaga, and at that point, strap all our breakers to it. In terms of a fractor, we have Cleaver, I think. No, we have Tycoon, which is very similar. For strength, we're going to need a Unity, so we want to install as many programs as we can to get the massive strength. Again, this deck has, I think, 8 strength ice at the higher end, with things like Chiashi, a giant barrier that does 4 net damage. We have an AI too, so there's text on Chiashi that is unfortunate. We're just going to try and avoid that thing. But at least this match is not very fast, and we already have 1 agenda, which is the best you can ask for. Wow, we have so much money. Let's check archives. There's 2 face downs in there. We'll see a bit what the deck is. There's 2 distract the masses, so recursion cards. So this definitely is the Snare Bears deck, if I'm not mistaken. That's ugly. We'll just get down some more slow money. 27 credits. Again, most of their ice costs around 8 credits to res, so their money can go pretty fast. I think the cheapest ice they have in their deck is the Wave, which allows them to search for a Loki, which is a 5 influence card. Again, this deck has 17 influence, which is integral to how this list works. Celebrity Gift, they're going to show us the hand. Again, we can always run HQ. We just need to get through 1 single piece of ice. Bacterial Kakurenbo, Konjin Thimblerig, Aiki. Okay, so this list is slightly different. We know there's a Bacterial in there. They did hide 1 card, so it could be something like a Snare, but I think we just want to play it as safe as possible. Pentagraph is nice. It's MU. It's fine. We don't want to really rigging it up. There's probably better targets. Okay, and here I think we start assembling our rig. So we'll trash this. We'll get a Baba Yaga down. We'll rigging up a Unity. We'll host it on here. And then we'll get down, I guess, a Pantograph. Not that they're going to score out anytime soon, but we'll need the MU because all these cards cost MU. So Baba Yaga gets all of the paid abilities on the hosted non-AI ice. So right now it has +1 for 1 strength. 1 credit for 1 strength for each icebreaker installed. We'll have a lot of those. And then also it's going to get 1 to break 1 Kogate subroutine. Now, Baba Yaga is 0 cost. It's worth noting that you can still use the Unity itself. It's still an installed program. But we're going to have to go fast and install all our stuff from our deck. We have rejigs with Kabonesa. We can overclock with self-modifying codes with Kabonesa. We just want to get 1 of each breaker. So again, we're going to need a Tycoon and we're going to need an Adore. And from there, we'll be okay. I think we actually end up breaking like an Anansi for about 4 credits, which is really, really good. It's just like it costs us a lot to get there. Card and archives, install on a remote server. Again, we know a bit of their hand. We know they have some cheaper ice. We just don't want to get one of the big ice res because then AgInfusion's ability is online. They have bacterial, advance. Sounds like the bacterial, honestly. There's nothing else in their hand we know is advanceable. All right, let's keep drawing. Rigging up. If it hits a target, it's a buzzsaw. That's actually kind of worth installing. It's free. It is another thing. We can drop once more. Yeah, let's just go ahead and rigging this thing up. Not an important install, but if they're going to go that slow, so can we. And now the Unity boosts 1 for 2 strength, which is okay. We can also bring Ike now for 2 credits. It's pretty good. Is Ike 3 strength or 4 strength? That might be 4 strength. They score bacterial here. It's a bit of a bummer. But yeah, not a lot of interaction. Okay, it is bacterial. Okay, so here they can rearrange the top 7, trash any of them, add any to HQ. Again, they already have 6 cards, so I don't know if they're going to be adding anything in HQ. It's akin to trashing at least some of their hand. But we'll get an SMC, then we'll overclock archives, and then we'll at least have the killer, the fractor we're going to have to draw into. We also can use the Pantograph, which we'll just use to install the misdirection. Actually, no, we probably won't. We could use it to install the no free lunch, but I think we'd rather have hit points than worried about tags. So we're just going to get the credit from the Pantograph. Discard a couple here. So we'll draw once. DZ's useful. This is the first program you install, so it'll get eaten when we do this. So we'll use SMC. We'll overclock archives. We probably don't need to do this. We have enough money. So we'll use the money off of this to go get our killer, which is an Adore, which we'll install for mostly free. Post it here. Reach the server. We see Ike, so it is 3 cost. So they did throw that out. Or 3 strength, excuse me. And from here, what do we do? Again, we just still need our Sentry Breaker. I'll play the DZ. It's the one thing that we would install with Pantograph. I think I'm just going to take 3 credits. I'm going to try and spread these out in case we're tags. It's not that they can trash this one for 9. They can trash 1 for 6, right? A lot of times if you have resources with money, you want to try and use them each equally. Celebrity Gift again. Let's see their whole hand maybe. Kakaramba Obokata Protocol Tribunal. Ugly. Still haven't seen a Sentry. There's a Daruma, and that could be the Obokata. So we might want to go HQ. The problem is we don't have the barrier breaker yet, the fractor. Let's draw up. A rejig gets us there. Diesel probably gets us there. MU is tight here. So next turn we can get it. We can throw this out for sure. So we need to throw out 2 cards. We'll throw out the Baba Yaga. We might as well just like play one of these. And then next turn we can pull the SMC and then we'll have all our breakers. And we're ready to go. Hey, it only took us 10 turns. It's alive. 10 turns later, it's alive. If they double advances, it's probably the Obokata, and we probably want to run it. And with no ice run, if we run the server 1, we can't deal with Loki. That's the only issue. Is with Loki, we have no way of dealing with it. Okay, so it looks like it's on top of whatever Daruma does. When the runner approaches the server, you may trash a card. If you do, swap a card installed with either another card installed. So they have nothing to swap that with, I don't think. Second ice. 4th ice. Okay. Let's go. Self-modifying code. Dirty laundry. Archives. Pop this. Oh, that was not what we meant to do. Whoops. We don't want dirty laundry. We want to overclock archives because we're going to use the credits off of this to go get our Tycoon. We waste some credits here, actually. Yeah, that wasn't smart. We should have used the dirty laundry, honestly. Okay, so we need to access with about 6 cards in hand because we have to play around Obokata into what's it called? Into Anemone. So we can't really do that. Let's just get some of this stuff rezzed. So we're running server 1. We have our full breaker suite. Again, we break 1 for 4 strength. It's a tribunal. So that we either break for, I don't think it's a lot. So we'll do 1 for each installed icebreaker. So we have 5 strength, and then we'll break 2 to break all sentry subroutines. How's that not there? Oh, continued encounter. I did it wrong way. That's why. And then 2 to break any number of sentry subroutines. All right, so we broke that for 3 credits. There is it for 7. Go Baba Yaga, go. And we're really worried about, it's a Konjin, that's fine. Again, that costs us as most 3 credits, so we're gonna spend 0 on this. We also, this is not an on encounter, right? Oh, it is. So in theory, if we do get our hunting grounds, we can blank this too. We don't really want to spend money on this. Again, this starts a side game, it's not a subroutine. So now we can encounter the tribunal again. Again, we'll have to run this twice potentially if they use their ability. So the tribunal, again, we'll, for 1 installed sub, okay, cool. All right, now if they do Resident Anemone here, we're a bit unlucky. At least their money's going down, and their outermost dice is a tribunal, which is not particularly impactful. All right, if they hit an Anemone, we will jack out after we break it, because we can't steal the Obokata, and the Obokata won't be scored next turn. There's a Chiashi. Okay, well, that's all their money. So at least here, if we can get the Obokata, we can get the Obokata. So I have no idea how much it costs to break a Chiashi. 8 strength. We're going to have to mill a lot of our deck. So that's just a problem because we haven't installed AI. While there's an AI installed, nothing we can do about that. So 1 strength, 1 strength. Then we'll use the Tycoon, break 2, break 2. So that only costs us 4 credits, but it does mill 6 cards off the top of the deck. And there's Obokatas we have to steal. Now they can redirect us, so we'll have to run it again. That's a nightmare. At least here now we can smash R&D. But now they can use their AgInfusion ability and they won't be able to score out. The problem is that the Chiashis are a burden. It's just kind of hard to play an AI into Chiashi, let's be honest. So here they could use their AgInfusion ability, they should. Whoa, they're not. We'll take the Obokata. We'll trash the Dharma. Yeah. And we'll just draw once. In theory, there's like niche things we could die to. We're safe against, what's it called? Punitive. I'm surprised they didn't use their ability. Again, they'd be on 0 credits, so we'd have to run it next turn, but that still mills another 6 cards. Now our multi-axis on R&D is Stargate. So that could be a Rashida. We need to get 3 cards in our hand before we access again. They drew second click, a bit awkward. This is definitely a good card, but now we need all our hit points left if we want to win the game. Draw. There's our Stargate again. MU is a bit tight here. We can always trash the Buzzsaw. We're not getting any use out of it. It does help with the Baba Yaga, but it's not the most important. Draw. Draw. We'll just run R&D here. We could run HQ. I think we knew most of HQ back in the day. We knew there was like there's a Konjin recounted for Tribunal, counted for Obokata. So we actually know nothing of HQ. Let's run HQ. They drew a lot that turn. Here they could throw us into the Tribunal, but again, it costs us 3 credits. It's another Konjin. Okay, wow. We just want to keep 4 cards in hand. If we get another DZ, we'll drop the Stargate for sure. We actually think we do drop the Stargate and trash the Buzzsaw. This could be a Spin Doctor in Silver 1. We haven't seen any. I think the deck was only on 2 Spin Doctors. But the deck that I saw wasn't running Daruma. At least the Snare Bear is the one that Scry took 2nd place with. I'm actually surprised that this is working out. Like this is the, the sort of ice that we need. This is the breaker suite that deals with big ice. Again, we haven't seen a Loki yet. I do think we trashed the Buzzsaw. Stargate for 3. Let's Stargate again. They could throw us over into the server. Again, it's 3 strength, so it doesn't change our break cost. If we have to break this with Baba Yaga. There's the wave. Okay, so this is the deck that we think it is. Again, we can break this for... We can let them have 1 credit. They can search their deck. Searching? Do you want to search? I assume that they refuse to search, which means they have a Loki in hand and they don't want to thin R&D. And if we heal an Obokata here, we can run Archives after drawing. This, for us to break it, it cost us 2. They can have a credit. All right, they could use their AgInfusion ability here again to throw us into the Tribunal. They don't. The Stargate fires. I'm really surprised they didn't use their AgInfusion before. All right, let's get a Stargate here. Obokata, so we can draw once and run Archives. Now, if that's a Spin Doctor, we don't win. Oh, that's it. Good game. Woo! I was worried that was going to be a bit of grind. And again, 10 turns not to do anything. Good game. That's what we'll take to set up our Baba Yaga rig. It's alive. It actually did something good. Oh man, this feels good. But yeah, this breaker suite can deal with the biggest ice for relatively cheap. Again, AI claws, have to worry about that. With only 6 cards left. Yeah. Good luck, us. Glad to have a slow deck. Again, don't do this. Play in turns. Don't do this. Let's do another one. All right, we're building a monster. Kabonesa Wu versus Pravdivost Consulting. Cinderin. They could be on a lot of different lists. The shout outs to Karium, who played the what's it called, the yellow tape deck at Worlds, and did really well in both formats. This is our Baba Yaga list. We have the Baba Yaga in hand. It's kind of nice to have that. The Stargate's okay. Dirty Laundry's not amazing against Pravdivost. We don't want to run. If they're playing, NABD Cordon, it's hard. We need good money, so at least we have some good money here. So we could like draw once, hopefully get this rigged up because it's expensive to play Baba Yaga. But we need that in hand before you get any of our other breakers. So the idea again with Baba Yaga, we want to get everything on the table. Oh, I'm worried that we're going to get crypto crashed. Maybe we won't run. Maybe they'd have seamless. And the triple ice start. All right, let's start our engine as well. Again, could easily be Yoshida, Urtica. I don't know. We can't take a lot of damage. If we lose pieces to our hand, we're in a bad spot. Let's draw once for rigging up. If we do Diesel, we'll be on 6. Too few cards. Too many cards. So we'll do Diesel next turn. Let's just get our econ started. So we'll play the telework. We'll get the creative last click. And it's a daily business show. Not what I was expecting. Now that helps with the HQ pressure, but that means, again, they have less money and it'll be a bit slower. This might be an acid matchup, actually. This card's really good. Double advance. Could be an NGO front. Less likely to be an agenda considering their credit differential. I'm worried that they'll tag us and retribution us. That's always the fear. We can get these two down. What else are we doing? We can draw once, or we can hit the telework. Let's draw once. We want a rigging up. Okay, rejig is really good. Now this won't do anything here. It's actually not a great install because they might not trigger the NGO front. They probably won't. But with rigging up now, we can pull programs from our deck and get them on to the Baba Yaga with the rejig value. Could be a Vlad, but like that's an ugly Vlad, isn't it? Double ice again, so that they probably have 8 credits. Let's keep setting up. Let's draw for rigging up. Okay, no free lunch is clutch. Again, some of the NBN stuff that you're worried about. Oh, we hit this, and I think we click for a credit. I don't want to show. I'm gonna show them that we're on the Baba Yaga. Whatever. We need to get this down. We're not drawing our rigging up. At least we have another target in hand. We're building a monster. It's alive. Scrounge some parts from the local graveyards. However, the Mary Shelley novel went. I never finished it, I'll be honest. But we're gonna try and build the most efficient breaker. Do we efficiently deal with some of the ice, like a cat, sort of? What's it called? Mesvingo? Definitely. Do we efficiently deal with Mesnichestvo? No, kind of. Not really. We do have hunting grounds, though. That'd be sick. 2 cards on the table. They have 8 credits. We're finally going to get value from Beth. So let's keep drawing. Again, we can assemble our rig pretty soon. Daily cast. Okay, so I think we will... We want an overclock. I just don't want to run to give them their ability. That's kind of the issue with this deck is we set up a lot. So we want to get the daily cast down. We can telework once. Let's draw once. There's a hunting grounds. This is such an important card in the matchup. It allows us to deal with the on encounter of IP block because we have an AI. Again, installing this into IP blocks into NBN and standard, not a good idea. But it also lets us deal with the Mesnichestvo, which is fantastic. All right, we're almost there. We just don't have enough card draw. I wonder if just playing Lad is more consistent, but Kabonesa's ability we've been using pretty consistently. That's 2 daily business shows. You don't see that a lot, but now they're going to be top decking the perfect cards. Speaking of perfect cards, 10 credits. They're going to jam in their mode server, hopefully a Bologna. If it is a Drago, we have no free lunch. Let's keep drawing. We want a rigging up. Pantograph is a good thing to get down now. Let's draw once again. All right. Again, we're not doing much. We're just setting up. Well, eventually we'll get there. And it's on them to go a bit faster than us because we're playing full ridiculous control. Daily business show, draw 3, bottom 2. Again, if they're probably running agendas, the longer we wait, the R&D gets pretty ripe. Single advance. Oh, it's a headline. Okay, that's really good that we have the no free lunch because we can't get retributed. Choose a card to install. Okay. And then we'll clear the tag. Bye. Otherwise, this would give them a tag and they would have a whole turn to use it. Now, this wasn't a credit positive trade. Card in server 2. We're almost at the point where we can consider running. We have Sentry Breaker. Not too worried about the sentries. An F2P, if it hits us at the bad time, we do return our whole Baba Yaga to hand. That can't be good. So let's draw once. We want a rigging up so bad. Okay, that's not it. I think we have to just start putting our stuff on the table. That could still be like a, what's it called? A Drago into Retribution. That would ruin us. There we go. Again, not the first breaker you really want here, but we'll get this down. We'll host it. So now we can break Sentry subroutines and boost 3 for 3 strength. Not amazing, but could be worse. And then next turn we can pull and install rejig, and we'll be just about there. We have a code gate in hand. Buzzsaw probably doesn't have to be in this list, honestly. I think we can spend the 2 influence on Clot or like some more economy because we already have Unity, and this is like better the cheaper stuff, but not by much for Unity. Yeah, I don't think we should be playing Buzzsaw. We can cut 2 influence. That actually would probably be pretty good. Oh, it's an NGO front. Perfect. So we can have all our breakers next turn. We're good to go. Let's go. Okay, we got a card draw. Let's for the first time ever run. So we are going to install the buzzsaw, post it here. So now we can break sentries and code gates. Again, strength is going to be the issue. I think strength is going to be a pretty big issue. Then we'll use Kabonesa. I think we Kabonesa in the game before to not pull just for the breaker. We can pull for the breaker. It's free. Then we'll rejig the breaker so we don't lose it. Posting it here. So now we can break all types. We're 2 for 3 strength, and we'll just go ahead and run. Server 2, we end up with a tag actually we run last click. We can't really afford to do that. That's embarrassing. Hope we don't die to retribution. 1 click too few. At least if we don't run, they can't score out of 4-2 unless they have seamless. So I will creative here. It's either that or draw a card. With the pantograph, if they score out, we get the daily cast down, which is actually kind of nice. But we haven't given their ability, so like, haha, jokes on them or something. I'm not sure. And Stargate would be pretty good. I don't think there's a spin doctor on the table. So regular, okay, that's money for them. That's fine. It gives us clicks. So I think here we just transition to Stargate. All right. Stargate, we don't have the MU. Oh, beans. We need a DZ or something. Running HQ, I don't really care to do that with 2 daily business shows up. So I think we can continue to set up. Sorry, this is so boring, but this is kind of what's happening here with their ability. There's our rigging ups. Not a lot of things to install with them. So we can install the daily casts. We have 2 more clicks. So we could draw and install a program, but it's unlikely. A DZ, we would rigging up. We can draw once more. Yeah, we'll rigging up a DZ. As ridiculous as that is, it's technically free. And now next turn we can drop our Stargate for 3 credits and go. And again, at this point, they're going through 3 cards every draw. So about every 9 or 8 turns, because they daily business shows a couple times before, they will be cycling through their deck. So it's very likely the agendas are actually kind of clumped together. I think we probably should cut the bus off, put a Mad Dash and something else. I kind of love playing Mad Dash in this modern meta. And they now have 23 credits. 26, and they didn't put anything on the table, so the ability of Pravdivost is only so powerful. Let's install this for 3. Let's go. We're set up. Let's break some stuff. We do want a Unity sooner than later, and it's a Jua. When the runner encounters Jua, they cannot install cards. We actually can cancel that, if I'm not mistaken. Prevent the 1 encountered. So that doesn't do anything. And so this is 3 strength and 2 subroutines. So what are we going to do? Break for 4? It's pretty bad, actually. It's actually really bad. That would have been 3 if we had our, what's it called down? Our Unity. For each server, they get to advance something. Again, we have hunting grounds, so we deal with some of this stuff pretty well. Daily business show, particular planogram, go to food initiative. They can draw the food. And now, because they're drawing 3 cards every turn, they actually break R&D lock every single turn, which is actually beneficial for us. If we dirty laundry our archives, we also get to install our telework contract for free, clicklessly, which is kind of sick. Let's draw once. We can also rejig these Stargates to get like aggressive Stargates. Let's go pick this one up. So we'll take the global food initiative. We'll steal it. We've already ran this turn, so we'll install. It's either the daily cast to gain 6 credits clicklessly or this to gain. I think clicklessly economy is pretty okay. Let's draw once more. Okay, our MU is full. We know that they draw into either daily business show, 1 unknown, or a planogram. The planogram could just be more card draw. They drew another. But they need to ice up R&D. Okay. Again, we break most stuff relatively well. And something in server 2. I actually would rather check server 2. This is likely a mess in Chesvo, which we deal with relatively well. Let's just overclock server 2. It's in a cat. In theory, we have to worry about advanceable traps. But we haven't seen anything so far. But we haven't seen a lot of influence. It's a Misfingo. Oh, we deal with those actually really well. So it's 3 strength. That's kind of a bummer. But 2. And then we break 1 for 1. So 1 for 2 subroutines because of Tycoon. Again, the text on this, when we use it to give them credits, that's not active. While we could use these breakers, we don't have to, right? Like we can use these as installed breakers, or we can use the Baba Yaga, which has more abilities. We have to watch out we don't get program trashed, of course. There's a toll booth. Okay, that's a 1 encounter that we want to dodge. All right. This thing has actually paid itself out. And so this thing, again, we need a Unity. This we can do 2 for 3 strength. So what does it cost to break with this? A lot. So 2 for 3 strength, 2 for 3 strength, and then 1 to break. And we're through. Woo! Underground. Let's see what this is. They can advance something. It's a Beal. Loved it. Let's just install a thing. Let's install our rigging, not rigging up, wow, our telework for free. Pantograph value. Okay, we don't need no endurance. Let's keep drawing. We want the Unity. SMC can't really install. We have 2 more MU cards in the deck. Unfortunately, we've committed to the Stargate sooner than later. I think we can consider Stargating here. I think we just hit the telework and Stargate. Yeah, we want to hit this every turn. We have enough money. All right, this is a turnpike. So this one we're going to lose a credit. Okay, so this again is 3 strength. Just about everything's 3 strength. We need our unity. So 2 for 3 strength, 2 to break. Could have just traced it, I guess. And this one we actually would care to, like, it ignores our pantograph, unfortunately. Like, we can't install anymore, not that we would. So again, this is again 4, 2 for 3 strength, 2 to break. Our money goes fast. We get a Stargate here. White space, we break for 1 credit. Mest and Chesvo, we break for a lot. Turnpike is annoying. I'd actually rather them draw the Mest and Chesvo because it's expensive for them. The white space is fine. The Turnpike is like the most annoying card for 2 credits. It's kind of wild. And it will just keep drawing. We have 8 to 10 credits. We're finally underneath them in credits. A diesel might get us into our, what's it called? Into our either a DZ we want, or we want our unity. We could actually trash the buzzsaw to get the unity. It actually would save us, I think, a fair few credits, but I think it's even better if we have 4 stuff installed. It doesn't really save much. Just 1 for 3 strength. So we start breaking these for 3 credits. We don't have, and maybe we should go our way with the to play virtuals. It's just as hard. There's not a lot of good virtuals. Economic warfare into hard hitting news. Wasn't expecting that. They spend 6. Okay. So we can deal with that. So now we have 4 tags because we kind of stepped out of economic line. Again, that was kind of expensive, despite what our breakers are meant to do for us. We have 7 credits. So here the MU is the issue. So I think if anything, we like trash the buzzsaw. We use Kabonesa to pull the misdirection, and then we fire it. We could diesel first. No. If we diesel first, we only have 3 clicks. Yeah, so it doesn't really do much. I think we just trash the buzzsaw. We have no simul chips, so this buzzsaw is permanently gone. So we'll use Cabo. We'll get the misdirection. We'll use the misdirection. We can't really recur this from the bin, so like, it's not that much worth protecting. We could overinstall it, otherwise it will be RFG'd, but let's just take the money instead. So that one's removed from game. So we can't survive more hard-hitting newses, but I hopefully, I don't know, maybe they feel like they have a window here on their mode server. I like how they're playing Miss Fingo. It's really good into Endurance. The advancements on this do get pretty good. And again, I wish we had Mad Dash so we can win in 1 more agenda. We're gonna have to steal 2 more. We also now permanently lost our buzzsaw, which is another thing that we can, another way to boost. Oh, they have money. Okay, so we can sit back. All right, there's our unity. We can rig that up for sure. Let's diesel into, I think we played most of the econ in the deck, which is a problem. Like there's not that much economy left. Dirty Laundry gives them an advancement, and then we're weak to hard-hitting news again, and we'd have to actually clear those tags manually. So I don't think we want to do that. We'll rig this up for sure. We'll play rigging up to get the unity down. We'll host that. So now we break things a bit cheaper. I think here we just click for credit. Like we could Dirty Laundry, but it gives them a counter, so we don't want to run if we don't need to. We also have a rejig, which means we can like double Stargate in a turn if we really need to. They haven't shuffled their deck in a long time, so I think at this point all the agendas are kind of coming back up. Just take a credit. Next turn we'll be on 14. They'll probably be on 19. But now we boost 1 for 3. So this is we do the on encounter, we bypass that. Okay. Another ice. So here we consider running centrals. The DZ opens up MU, but we have literally nothing more to install. So I think we consider just like clicking for 4 because we can lock the remote server. Yeah. We're gone through a whole stack largely. We have 12 more cards. I don't know what they are. I don't know how much economy cards we have left. Let's check. So we have 3 gambles, 3 creatives, 3 dirty laundries, 3 overclocks. We have 2 more gambles actually. That's a lot of money. We should draw. What do they do? Pranigram to draw 3. Planogram. I don't know if they're on traps. They easily could be on traps. I think they'd be on traps here. But I feel like here they're setting up a fork to see whether we die to a hard-hitting news. So let's just go overclock this remote server. It's overclock or dirty. Overclock is technically more credits. It's not actual credits. Okay, so now this is 3 strength. So we'll go 1 for each installed icebreaker. That hits 3, or that hits 4, excuse me. And then we can break 3 subroutines. So it's 1 for 2 barrier and 1 for 2 barrier. So we break that for 3. Then we're through. On encounter, we'll stop the on encounter. On the approach, excuse me. You have to do this on approach on JNet. Prevent a win encounter, so we save 3 credits. And this one we break for 3 credits. So Till Booth for 3 is pretty good. Again, it could have been, if we kept our buzzsaw around, we could have done even better. And then 1 more, excuse me, and we'll break. No idea what this is. Again, they can advance it once, so if it's an Urtica, it'll be 3 net damage. It's a Spin Doctor. Okay, so they draw 4, bottom 3. They probably crack that, so we don't trash it. At that point, a Spin Doctor is down, so the Stargate gets better and better. That's our first Spin Doctor, and they fully shuffled. I think here we probably want to just like Dirty Laundry HQ. I think it's still pretty cheap for us to run. Economic Warfare, hard-hitting news, they advance something. Probably the Misfingo. Maybe, yeah, that seems like it's a Mess and Chesto if I've ever seen one. Well, Dirty Laundry HQ, again, they drew a lot. Now, it's mostly filter draw, so I don't think there's actually agendas in hand. This is probably a bad Dirty Laundry, let's be honest. There's a Mess and Chesto. We break this for 2 credits. Oh, 3 credits now because we got rid of our Buzzsaw. But at least that's a better trade for us than them. They spend 5. We spend 3. Say a Turnpike would be annoying. Oh, no IP blocks too. We got lucky. Oh, we break this for 1, actually. That's fine. This is a white space and we have more credits, so we just break the lose credits. Because we have enough. So we hit HQ, we steal Bologna. I don't know if they're on Bolognas, they might be. We haven't seen also any, what's it called? NAPDs, which I reckon they might be on. Economic, uh-oh. That's scary. We still have more money than them. Oh, we just want to set up the Stargate. Let's draw for a gamble. Credit. Okay, we can't use the overclock really well this turn. And we just need to keep Stargating now. So again, these we break for 3 a pop. And I wish we had Mad Dash. I need to put Mad Dash in this list. I just can't believe playing in Standard without Mad Dash. Hedge Fund, install. They might just Economic for Spite. Track. Okay, card and server 2. Could be another Spin Doctor. Again, we can check this relatively cheaply. We have 17 credits. I think we can always check this with the overclock, right? Like it doesn't cost much. This cost us 3. This cost us 6. And the overclock is 4 credits positive. Yeah, I think we can consider checking it. I just don't want to Stargate if there's a Spin Doctor on server 2. Here's like, I would love some inevitability econ, but it's mostly events. Let's just check this. Again, now they're forcing us to run every turn. That's good. It's a Eula. Oh, okay. This actually we break for 3 credits. It's one of the better ways to break in the format. We could be playing Sunny's Breaker that breaks all for 2, but yeah, I don't think that's worth doing it. So we'll break 1 for 1. Oh, this is gonna be tedious. Just click that a lot of times. And let's see, that has 6 subroutines. They all say either pay a credit or break. And luckily we break 2 subroutines for 1 credit, so this is cheaper. Yeah, tell me about it. Miss me a Sherman though. All right, so this is now 3 credits again. If they advance it once, it doesn't change the math. What if we should just play endurance in this deck? Okay, so we're gonna add 1 for each strength, then 2 to break. I think that's the longest menu you can see of paid strength stuff. Not that you could not strap more stuff to Baba Yaga, but that's like a hilariously long list. So on near the approach, we will prevent that continued encounter. So we save 3 credits, breaking the 5 strength code gate. So again, I wish we had 1 more installed. Is it cheaper just to use this? Oh my God, it's cheaper just to use the Unity. I'm not smart. Whoa. Try that like this. Whoa, okay. Before, yeah, I realized I can just break it with this for 2. So we could have saved a credit last turn. Oops. Yeah, you can always use these. I think we never missed it until the toll booth last turn. But yeah, now the toll booth, we don't mind. The Adore like doesn't change the math. It's actually cheaper to use the Yaga. See what they advance here again. It could be Urtica. It's a Regolith. We'll take that down again. Like they're going to try hard hitting use us. So I think we just click for 3 here. We need a Stargate sooner than later. Mess and Chesto, we also say lost. So we overspent. No, because we get to 4. We're fine. We'll draw once for a gamble. Credit. That's a dead card. Now they can drop us to 8. And we just need to close the game off. Again, Mad Dash. Go change your lists. Put Mad Dash in them. We can't steal 2 more agendas. They're going to jam this every turn. And one of them is going to be an agenda. This might be a Spin Doctor. Again, they're only drawing agendas if they want to. So the game is probably an R&D. Predicted for 3. Credit. So now like if we... Oh, that's good to draw. Like, I don't know what to do. I think we only run if they start advancing. We haven't seen any Seamless. Most of their package is probably on Economic Warfare, and that means Boom, likely. I'm just worried that they're going to, like, Seamless out a Crypto Crash. I think next turn we can just, like, hopefully they score out a Beal here, and then we can Stargate. And if they don't, like, maybe they res a Spin Doctor, and then we know we can Stargate in a turn or 2. Yeah, I don't think we have any other breakers in the deck. Yeah, we have nothing. So we don't really have to play the DZ. But enough, if they score out, we just get Pentagram. Yeah, there's a Spin Doctor. So glad we didn't go again. They're going to have to score out a 5-3 to win, so we don't really have to run until they advance stuff. Spin Doctor, again, they just did unfiltered draw for the first time in a long time because they already mandatory draw, so Daily Business Show doesn't do anything. Shuffle in 2 NGO fronts, that tracks. Server 4? Don't know what that is, but like, Count me interested. Another daily, probably. It's an Amani Sinai. I think we do trash that. We have Link, and if they return the Baba Yaga to hand, it's really bad. Amani Sinai is, yeah, it's pretty good. That would have been kind of bad. Not that we don't have credit differential, but I think we'll save more money trashing that than boosting if we steal a food. Like, then we pay 4 anyways. They advanced this card, so probably another Mess and Chesto. So what's in the bin? No Rashidas, 3 Regoliths again. I don't think we have to run. I think he'll will Stargate. We're pretty confident. Again, Spin Doctors are mostly out. Let's just go for it. Again, if we have Mad Dash in our hand, we see 1 agenda, we win. So Resimesna, okay. So we'll on-encounter this one. Okay, so now it's 4 strength, so we could just use this for 3. This one's ugly. This is just 4 credits no matter how we slice it. Actually, no, it's 3 credits. So here, 1 for each. We'll do 2 to break. Again, virtuals is hard. We only have 1 virtual in the deck, if I'm not mistaken. And there's not a lot of good shaper virtuals. Like, maybe we can play a single Dream Net, but I don't know. Maybe our card draw is bad, but it's just kind of an expensive card to set up. Yeah, this is expensive. Okay, 1 for break. We can't let this fire too. If this fires, if it fires, it's like, is it cheaper than this? Like, they would choose Baba Yaga and something else. Now they have a credit lead. If that's a Rashida, they'll have a kind of a credit lead, especially because we know they have economic. Come on, 2 agendas. Because we can run back and win if that's not a Spin Doctor. 2 agendas in a row. Masfingo Hedge Fund Beal. We'll take the Beal. We'll run Archives before they have a Spin Doctor. Put us on game point. Again, we get a credit here. It is the last Spin Doctor. Okay, good. So they drew a Masfingo and a Hedge Fund. So they're going to have more credits than us by a mile. So again, we could have been patient there. And we just click for 3 and hope that they don't have it. Because now they can go to 10 and drop us to 7. So we can still clear the tags. It's just going to be most of our economy. Here, SMC. In theory, we can always like panic rejig over and over again. But we can't let the Jua fire. We can let the Turnpike fire and go tag me at least for 1 turn if we think we're going to win. But the Jua firing will return our stuff. So Hedge Fund, it'll drop us. Oh, they're just going to hard-hitting news? No economic? Hedge Fund. So they're on 13 to 11. Card and server 2. Okay, so all Spin Doctors are out. We have a Dirty Laundry. So now we know the Stargate is definitely going to connect. So the question is, that could be an Amani Sinai. It's pretty long, turn 19. Don't have a lot of money. We have, in 6 cards in the bottom, we have 1 Hedge Fund. This is our last Dirty Laundry. In terms of created commissions, we played 1, 2. I wish if I highlighted 1, it would highlight all of them. We have 2. Oh, all 3 out. So we don't have a lot of burst economy left in the deck. In fact, I'm not actually sure what the last 6 cards are. I think maybe a daily cast. No free lunch for sure. So if we want to run this, this is 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's 10 credits to Stargate. We have to do that twice. I think we're just going to push it. Assuming all the agendas are still in the deck and that they've been filtering Daily Business Show, I think we're just going to go for it. I'm just going to go and run Archives. We'll see what they advance here too. If they advance server 2, we can consider running it. This is probably Miss Fingo if they continue to advance it. It's not great to get 3 credits just for advancement. Oh. There's so many NGO fronts. I think they're playing pretty conservatively. I think that's probably an NGO front. At least if we run here, they can't score out a 4-2 at the same time as threatening. So here we're just going to tilt a bit. Like, we're going to go for the Stargate. Again, if we see 2 agendas, I think we can win. To prevent when encountered. But like, our economy's now falling apart. Again, Mad Dash. Like a broken record he is. Here we can just do this. We should probably, to some extent, consider Gordian Blade. I don't know if it actually saves money. But currently boosting to 3 is like where this is ugly. Maybe we should just play Mimic. Yeah, we probably should just play Mimic. It breaks the small stuff, no sweat. Because like the 2 to break any number of Sentry subroutines is not that often. Yeah, I think we should just play Mimic and save an influence too. We'll change the deck. 2 for 3 strength. Oh, that was not right. So that should be 1. Whoops. And then 2 to break. Yeah, we should have boosted with the Unity, of course. Unfortunately, when the Jua fires, we actually can't rejig our Stargate, which is like totally an option. We can also let this fire on the second run back if we have a winning agenda there. Okay, so 1 for strength. And 2 for subroutines. All right, so now we're so going to get hard-hitting news. Come on. Daily Vision Show Project Beal NGO front. Okay, so we can't win. If we run that, we get a credit. We might as well. And then we have 1 turn to survive hard-hitting news. So we get a credit from this. We're not going to install because of the pantograph. We'll just click for credit. So hopefully they're forked here. And now they're going to draw again 3 cards from Daily Business Show. So we can run R&D and see a new card for sure. 3 new cards, in fact. If they hard hitting news us, like, then we can just take the Turnpike tag. The Jewess still matters. The Mess and Chesso still matters. If they crypto crashes down to 0, though, I think we're more upset. Economic advance. Okay, so it looks like that's a Bologna or food. We're on 2 credits. I don't think they're on Bologna. Maybe we would have seen one by now. But in terms of like, there's 14 cards in R&D. So there's 19 cards. And we've seen 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Assuming that's a 3-pointer. Could be another Beal. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So there should be about 8 points left within 19 cards. So about 1 and 2. If that's just a Beal, they can score out. So we can just click for 4 and then we can Stargate next turn. I don't think we have to go ham here. Did they throw out any hard hitting news? They've thrown out none. Actually, it probably would be better. Hold on. We'll just click twice. Because if we diesel, we'll probably hit our sure gamble. Oh, not that we can play it. Lol. Oh, we have a telework. That's pretty good. We'll install our daily cast. It's pretty slow. Probably too slow, in fact. But next turn, we can telework, hit telework, sure gamble. That might be a bit too slow. But they still have to score our 2 agendas. I don't know if they're on fast advance. If they are, they're going to get us 3, 4, 5. Let's see a Bologna. They have Bologna. Okay, so we need to get some stuff down. Actually, oh, if we thought it was a Bologna, we could have kept the daily cast in hand. At least we get this down clicklessly, which helps a heck of a lot. Okay, so now we can camp the remote. Again, 3 NGOs still there. They're on game point. We're on game point. Mad Dash would have done it. We hit this. We hit this. Again, we have 5 clicks that turn. So again, we can probably just Stargate here. Stargate, this is 3. Could consider taking the tag. So it's 4, 5 for strength, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we won't have Bologna credits. That's the only issue. So we're hoping that's not a Bologna. To C3, I think we just play control. I think we just click 3. I think running HQ actually makes sense. It's a fair bit cheaper. This is only 4 credits. I'm worried. I don't know what Devil Daily Business Show is going to do for them. And I think this is an NGO front. I do not think that's an agenda. I do not think they would be confident enough here. All right, 1 card left in our stack. We could know what that is if we were smarter. Let's telework and run Stargate. Oh, cool. So that's good to know. It used to not do that, but now it asks if you want to prevent. So you don't have to do it on the window that I was said that you had to do it. Always good to know. It's cheaper to break. Continue approach. If this doesn't work, we run HQ and then maybe we run server 2 again. We have most information. This is probably a misfingo of whether we can get in or not. So this will be 1 for each sub 2. The break. Yeah, I do think we just play Mimic because there's so many like drafters and like turnpikes. We don't really need the 2 to break 1 sub-13. Like it saves a credit on like a Nancy. We have Bologna credits here. Let's go. Come on. We're working so hard at this. Breach server. Advance. Please. You hate to see it. They advance this. So I think there's a Bologna in there. What do we not want them to draw? We can't install cards anymore because of the Jua. So we can't like rejig the Stargate to go again. Get rid of the hard hitting news, assuming that's an NGO front, but they triple advance it. Okay, now thinking. So the problem is, we're pretty sure that's a Bologna in the remote server, which we would need, a lot of money, an unthinkable amount of money, because we have to get through like the toll booth. So alone, that's going to be 5 credits because we spent our hunting grounds, and then we need another 5. So we can't do that. So I think the only thing we can do is run HQ, maybe twice. We're going to lose 3 on encounter here. Oh, I might want to click for credit. Didn't do the math. Yeah, we might need to click for credit here because I want to make sure we're accessing with 5 credits. Okay, so this would be 1 for strength. We're going to lose 3, so 4, 5, 6. That puts us to 2. Then we break this for 2. So it doesn't really change anything. We can't steal Bologna. It's all good. At least we could run archives. I don't think there's an agenda in archives. Far away. All good. Yeah, so we can't steal Bologna. I don't think we have an overclock in the bottom deck now. We've seen all 3 already right there. So we lost 3. So we'll match and fully break. And then we break white space for 2. Or we can break it for 1 if we want to be really smart. It's cost the same though. We lose our money. I wonder if they're keeping agendas in hand because of they're scared. But I don't think so. Maybe we have to bet that this isn't a Bologna, but we've only seen 1. I don't even know if we could have got through this if it wasn't a Bologna. We could be on 9 credits. Yeah. Come on. Come on. No. At least that does nothing. We'll run archives for 1, whatever. That's a white space. Good game. We gotta play Mad Dash. We gotta change a Mimic, but I think we had that there potentially. We just need to make changes, a couple changes to the deck. Oh no, it was an entry. Oh no. Now clicking for credit was pretty bad. They might hard hitting use us. They're on 21. The economic warfare at least doesn't do anything, but it looks like they don't have it. And they drew that's a Misfingo, and now that we're gonna get 4 tags. And we didn't trash the psychographics. So now we're 4 tags in. So we could have played like that's the NGO front, but I think there's frighteningly few agendas. We're now 4 tags. We have 2 credits. We can get to 5 credits. Okay, thinking. Okay, so good things and bad things is we don't have to break. This we don't have to break. We have to break this, and we have to break what's likely the Misfingo. Misfingo we break for 2 credits. This we break for 3, 4, 5. I think the biggest problem here is if is anything else in archives besides a Bologna. I think we can consider doing this. Okay, let's assume that is a Misfingo, right? Because that's what we saw that they drew off the top. That would be 1 to boost, 1 to break. Then this is 1 to boost, 2 to break. So that's all our money. We don't lose a credit on the turnpike. And then the Jua, they can choose 2 cards, but it doesn't matter. Like if it's our one last run before we lose the psychographics or whatever. We can't steal Bologna anymore, assuming there's another Beal and another food. So I think we just go for it. What do we do with the rest of our clicks is the question. I'm going to ask if we can just check our bottom card of the stack because it's easier than like looking at the deck list. It's a 1, no free lunch. So that's 2 clicks for 3 credits. Better than clicking for credits. So we could go on 5. Yeah, okay, we'll shuffle. Nice. Okay. So what do we do here? I think it's a Misfingo. So we could draw and install that. That's better than clicking for credits. And then we can also pop it past the turnpike if we need to for some reason. I think if the Jua fires, we're totally fine. The Stargate goes off regardless. The problem is at that point, we can only get to 4 credits, but they can't win next turn. So I do think we do. No, yeah, why not? Draw, install. So they have no more Stargates. I'm sorry, they have no more Spin Doctors. So we could just Stargate here. Again, I'm pretty sure that's a Misfingo. What about if it's not? Well, we have the Panic No Free Lunch if it's not. Yeah, let's just go for it. I think 5 is enough because this is a Misfingo, which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a tag. Yeah, let's just go. I did all the math really quickly. Shit. Okay. Okay. All right. At least we have the no free lunch here. So this is 3 to break and this is 4, 5, 6. So we have to pop the no free lunch. So this will break. Oh, I'm not going to use that text because then they get money. Not that it really matters. I thought it was a Misfingo. That's probably they kept the psychographics actually. That makes way more sense in like a very immediate retrospect. Apparently if I hit encounter, it asks me. Oh god, this hunting ground saved us so much money in this match. I'm playing this because we were forced to play an AI, so I have to deal with IP block. We haven't seen an IP block yet. It asks, I found out. Yeah, we both had no idea that works like that now. That's a really good update. So we'll break for 3. We have 2 cards left again. We can't steal Bologna. We're hoping for a Beal or food. Again, if they're on 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So they're definitely on at least one more non-Beal agenda. Okay, this we lose a credit. We just let it fire. And we're going to not lose our Baba Yaga. They'll probably return something else to hand. If they return the MU, we lose the Stargate. So it's kind of the same. So we're going to let this fire. We lose a credit on encounter. We take a tag. Oh boy. We know there's an economic in hand and probably Psycho. We'll take the tag here. And then we'll let Jua fire. You don't see Jua fire a lot. Oh, I hope. They said we'd be shocked if we didn't get it here. Okay, that's a Jua. We're going to let this fire so they can choose 2 things. I will, out of respect, rebury the monster we built if they pick. Card counting with DBS. Oh, yeah. So they kind of know what's here. They haven't shuffled. Please pick Baba. We have to unassemble the monster. Lay it to rest. All right. Choose a card to move to the stack. Wait, to the stack? I'm going to get rid of the Baba. We trash everything, but now we can find peace once again. They get advancement, please, an agenda. Not a Bologna. Did it. That was a sick, sick game. Oh my god, what a game. GG, that was amazing. And we've laid our beast to rest. Headers gained 145 to 105, 1 Bologna in hand. I was thinking that you were hoarding them. Seemed safer in HQ than R&D. Oh, we finally got there. Choose a card to install. Let's get a DZ down. No, we can't. Wow, what a fun game. Okay, I think that's it. I don't think we can play more of this deck list. It's nonsense. It is in really slow matchups probably pretty good, but otherwise it's kind of difficult. I do think we want to make some changes. I think we could play a Mimic pretty easily. Yeah, I think if we played a Mimic there, it'd be a lot better. And we get some influence back as well. Should push below instead of the NGO. I think so, yeah. Hey, yeah, for real. All right, cool. That's it for this deck. And happy Halloween. We made a monster and we laid it to rest again. Baba Yaga, we do it just about every year and it is good fun. Not very good, but good fun. See you in a bit. In terms of trick or treat, it's my treat to say a huge thank you to, again, all the nice people that help support myself and the channel. These are the names of all our Sure Gamble and higher patrons. Firstly, thank you so much to Sebastian Coes, Matthew Shanuel, Dev Invincibility, Awesome Case, Kat Chen, I Feel Fine, Jay Vero, Jason Gessner, Jossie Baron, Dan Bouchard, Sebastian Colorado, New Object, Hanny Hebisha, Cror, Bookkeeper, Zach Cruz, Chris, Jeff Bennett, Chris Mitchell, Andrew Robertson, Andrew Jolly, Sean Devlin, Arthur Pitt, Ken Elwin, 222, Tim Ashton, Joe T, Nathan Hutner, Zane Trev, Clement Marshall, Encoder, Dan Lewis, Chris Watt, Sauce, Matt Conduit, Levi Corner, Frank Fortin, Shane Lilly, Stefan Primal, Jonky Bong, Lee Butler, Astrolad, Luke Dennis, Phil Ulrich, Scott S, Lucas, Spooky Noises, Acarium, Nathan Durant, Sven Vazan, Jenny, Izzy Stardust, Elliot Mobby, Ewan Milne, JC, Scott Humphrey, Daniel Cook, Alec, PR Small, Jalen Horm, Spray, Adam and Fish, Taekwon Dean, and Artem McHallison. Thank you so much. And of course, a huge thank you to all of our Daily Cast patrons. Your support is absolutely appreciated. That's all for this video. Again, Baba Yaga is actually quite fun. I want to try a stealth build. It's really hard to put all those pieces together, especially when people are, preparing for the endurance. They're kind of going fast. So if you can find that slow matchup, I'm coming for you, AgInfusion. Enjoy the recommended content. We'll see you in a bit.